Thank you so much, Professor Mayer. I'm honored to be here today for many reasons. Dean Daly, your hard work and determination to make this the best film school in the country has been truly awe-inspiring. You are relentless in making sure your students have every option possible while they're here and beyond, and you are an enormous reason this school is as great as it is. As you know, she is a dynamo. Mary Pickford was such an incredible force. She starred in 250 films, produced over 30 of them, started a studio and co-founded the Academy Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. So it's incredibly special for me today to be accepting an award in her name. It's also an honor to receive an award with my sister, Suzanne. She is my mentor and my best friend. She's an incredible producer as well as an amazing mother and sister, and I'm so happy to see her being recognized for all she has accomplished. And I'm thrilled to be here with Ron Meyer, who is a visionary and an inspiration. But I'm most honored to be here speaking with you on this important day in your lives as you all embark on your next chapter. And that leads me right to a confession I have to make. I never actually graduated from USC. I know, and they let me speak here. But one summer while I was here, I got a job on a film as a director's assistant, and I loved working on set so much that I left USC and I never looked back. So the truth is, this is my first time, well, I didn't wear the cap, but in a gown here, and much to my regret, I still don't have a diploma, at least not yet. But it's the reason I hesitate to give advice today. I'm not a huge fan of fixed precepts because a list of advice by its very existence suggests that there's a correct way to approach a profession, that there's a formula or that you can plan it out, and that doing it the right way can lead to foreseeable results. And it's simply just not true of this business. There's no playbook, and everyone you speak to will have a different story to tell. Now, I know this reality can seem daunting, but it's my hope that you realize that paving your own way actually means you have the opportunity to make your career exactly what you want it to be. Since this is graduation, and I have a stage and a microphone, I'm going to try to impart some ideas I've found helpful and have served me well in my career. These are concepts that I feel are pretty universal, and hopefully they'll resonate with you. The first one is follow your desire. I already started to tell you about my own story. I left USC to follow a path that felt right to me. Once the job as the director's assistant ended, I got a job answering phones for one of the producers of that film. But it wasn't long after that the Writers Guild strike of 1988 hit, and I was laid off almost immediately. Thankfully, Suzanne was working on the Warner Brothers lot at the time and helped me get a job as a receptionist at Silver Pictures. And as it often goes in this business, 3 weeks later, when an assistant quit, I pleaded for the job and I got the chance. From there, I bobbed and weaved through several development jobs until, again, my sister, this is a theme, brought me over to work on a film with her, a small film called Now and Then. And suddenly, I was an actual producer. And from that point on, I was lucky enough to be a producer who could put movies together, which was always my goal. So while it was risky and scary, following my desire ultimately allowed me to find my path. As you move through your career, you must trust in both your creative and your business instincts to create your own way. The path will inevitably have twists and turns, and it may even disappear from under your feet for a while, but by setting your sights on what it is you actually want, you will find your way. Which brings me to my next point. Expect discomfort. Know that it's nearly impossible to get things made, and you must be relentless. A few years ago, we were fighting to get a film called Celeste and Jesse Forever made. Thank you. We sold it to Fox Atomic, who agreed to give us $20 million to make the movie, and we were ecstatic. But 1 week after greenlighting the project, Fox Atomic went out of business. So not too long after that, another company made an offer, but less than a month later, they too were out of the movie business. It was not the most promising omen, but we truly believed in the project and refused to let it die. The good news is this story has a happy ending. The bad news is this story isn't at all unusual in the film business. The film kept falling apart, and after the third time, we found yet another investor. But the only problem was he wanted complete creative control. So just 3 weeks before we were scheduled to start filming, while standing in the investor's parking lot, we decided to forego the deal. Instead, we decided to throw some of our own money into the film and find an investor who believed in our creative vision. We ended up making our $20 million film for less than $1 million. We borrowed friends' houses to film in, asked for countless favors, and were in a constant state of panic until the film sold at Sundance. So much of the Celeste and Jesse saga was difficult. Frustrating doesn't begin to describe the feeling of having a project fall apart on the 1 yard line 4 separate times. But we were willing to live in the discomfort because our desire to make the film was so strong. And finally, my third suggestion is to tolerate craziness. Most often, your own. And if it's not destructive to you, other people's craziness. One thing this business is not lacking is personality. Know that you will encounter all kinds of characters in your career, and you will work on projects that will require a level of fortitude and perseverance that you didn't know you had in you. Mary Pickford once said, "You may have a fresh start any moment you choose, for this thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down." Surprises, mistakes, tragedies, and triumphs will take your career in directions you never thought possible. You'll have experiences transcendent and hellish and beautiful and heartbreaking that no one, including yourself, could possibly believe are true. This profession we haven't chosen isn't easy. Things never go as planned. But as my friend Gary David Goldberg used to say, it beats having a real job. And it really does. Congratulations to the class of 2017.